Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're opening up a really fascinating file. It's a comprehensive strategic plan and market viability report for a new local media venture.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Memphis Coupon Book, and it's designed to launch in the Memphis metropolitan statistical area.
That's right. And this isn't just, a theory. This is a detailed plan for a hybrid print and digital advertising business.
So our mission today is pretty direct.
Yeah. Can this venture successfully muscle its way into a highly competitive environment? And maybe more importantly, can it actually make money?
Mm-hmm.
We're here to road test the assumptions, really dig in, and see if it's viable.
Okay, so let's unpack the setup. When we first looked at the sources, there was this immediate sense of structural perfection.
Oh, absolutely.
The market, Memphis, Tennessee, almost seems custom-built for a coupon-based business model.
It really does. And that's the core tension we're tackling today. The source material presents this ideal consumer landscape and a ready-made advertiser base. On paper, it looks like a strategic slam dunk. But when we move from that market analysis to the actual P&L, the financial projections, they reveal, a catastrophic viability gap. We're looking at a sophisticated business plan that might be completely undone by cold, hard arithmetic.
So let's spend some time on the good news first. Why is Memphis, and the metro area is over 1.3 million people? Why is it the perfect place for this kind of value-driven advertising?
Well, it all starts with the consumer foundation.
Yeah.
We know, just generally, that over 90% of Americans use coupons in some form. That's our baseline.
Right.
But the specific demographics in Memphis, that's what creates the sweet spot.
And that median household income figure, that was the real giveaway, wasn't it?
Absolutely. The median household income in 2015 was just under $50,000. But here's the crucial insight. This figure perfectly centers the largest single income bracket.
Which is households earning between $50,000 and $75,000.
Exactly. That bracket makes up almost a fifth of all households in the region.
And why is that 50 to 75K segment so important for coupons? It's not the lowest income bracket, which might suggest, desperation. Nor is it the highest, which suggests they might not care.
Precisely. The report labels them as financially strained but active. This is the psychological tipping point. They're earning enough to actually participate in the consumer economy. They eat out, they buy services.
But they're watching every dollar.
They are highly budget conscious. They haven't abandoned value seeking for pure convenience yet. They will clip a coupon or search for a digital code because saving $10 or $20, that genuinely matters to their monthly budget. They are the ideal customer.
And their spending habits, that leads us right to the businesses in the region, which are just perfectly structured to need this kind of service.
The economic structure supports the model beautifully. Look at the top employment sectors from 2015. Services were almost 47%. Retail trade was over 11%.
So you have a ton of small local businesses.
A huge density of service and retail businesses. That means there's an enormous pool of businesses that need constant, low-cost, direct response marketing just to get people in the door.
We can even put a number on that total addressable market, the TAM, just for Memphis and Shelby County, can't we?
Oh, the scale is impressive. The estimate is a potential advertiser base of 1,100 to 1,300 restaurants.
Wow.
And 1,200 to 1,500 retail stores. Even a niche market like, say, dental offices has between 150 and 180 establishments.
And the plan is smart. It identifies the beachhead segment restaurants as the immediate first target.
That's the path of least resistance. They've already got a pre-qualified lead list from the Memphis Restaurant Association. So you start there, you generate some initial buzz, prove the ROI model quickly, and then use those early wins to pull in other sectors.
Plus, Memphis is a huge tourist town. That gives them a whole other layer of premium advertising opportunities that go way beyond the local pizzeria.
That's the high-margin territory. Places like Graceland, Beale Street, the National Civil Rights Museum.
The Memphis Zoo.
Exactly. They're looking for brand-building placement, for large-scale, high-visibility ads. And this is what justifies creating their more premium product, the glossy magazine.
Okay, so we have the ideal consumer, the ideal advertiser base, the scale is there. Now let's get into the solution they developed. This multi-channel hybrid print and digital strategy. They knew a basic coupon book just wouldn't cut it.
So they had to go hybrid. It was the only way. They're leveraging this powerful industry, finding that campaigns combining print and digital can boost customer response rates by up to 400%.
400%.
Yeah. They recognize print drives awareness and trust, but digital gives you the tracking and the immediacy.
Let's break down their two print products because they serve two really distinct purposes. First, the entry-level product, the coupon book.
That's the volume driver. It's designed to be low cost for the advertiser and highly transactional for the consumer.
Small, two-color, newspaper style.
Yep, 24 to 28 pages, two-color, 5.5 by 8.5 inches. It's built for rapid-fire, direct response lead gen for the most price-sensitive small businesses.
Then you have the complete opposite of that, the high-end magazine.
That's the prestige play. We're talking 52 pages, full-color, standard glossy magazine format. This is explicitly for brand building. It's meant to attract the premium clients, the tourist spots, high-end home services who are targeting a more affluent audience.
But the real genius here seems to be the digital platform. That's the crucial differentiator against the big competitors.
It is.
Tell us about the Advertiser self-service portal.
This is their key value proposition. The website is a hub where consumers can subscribe, a freemium model for exclusive deals. But for the business, that self-service portal is gold.
Why?
It allows advertisers to manage their own content, even create their own little micro subsites within the Memphis coupon book ecosystem. So this isn't just managing an ad. This gives them legitimate, high-value SEO benefits and tracking that a simple print ad could never offer.
That sounds like a powerful counterpunch. Because they're not walking into an empty market here. They are facing some serious established competition.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, Valpak.
Valpak is the elephant in the room. They're a national franchise, a huge brand, and critically, a Google Premier SMB partner. They have the famous blue envelope direct mail, plus all the digital packages. Memphis Coupon Book cannot win a fight on scale or technology.
So if they can't compete on scale, how does the plan expect to differentiate itself and win?
It has to be purely hyper-local and high-touch. The Memphis Coupon Book must offer dedicated sales agents, personalized creative services, and genuine local knowledge that a big franchise like Valpak often struggles to replicate.
So you're betting that a small business owner would rather talk to someone from their neighborhood.
Exactly. Not a distant national sales rep.
We also have the other competitor, America's favorite coupon book. This one's interesting because its pricing, while it validates the market, it might also be a financial trap.
That is the crucial point. America's favorite sets the low-cost floor. Their smallest ad goes from about $129 down to $79 for a long-term commitment.
So it tells them low-cost volume is possible.
It does. But if Memphis Coupon Book adopts that pricing as their standard, they are setting themselves up for guaranteed financial failure. That low price point just encourages high turnover and low-quality clients.
And to survive all this pressure, the plan wisely diversifies its revenue streams beyond just selling ads.
Yes, and they have to. They anticipate 5 streams. The traditional ad sales, sponsored content, digital subscriptions for consumers, website advertising, affiliate marketing, and then down the line, community events.
Like trade shows or job fairs.
Right. This diversification is smart, but it's not going to save them if the core ad pricing is broken.
Okay, let's move from this incredibly promising strategy to the cold reality of actually doing it. This is where the story pivots dramatically. Let's look at the operational requirements just to get the first edition out the door.
The initial team is lean, but it's still expensive. You need the owner, a sales manager, 2 absolutely essential sales agents, 1 graphic designer, and at least 4 delivery drivers to cover the metro area.
And the entire viability of this whole thing, it really rests almost entirely on those 2 sales agents. So how is the plan supposed to motivate them?
They're using a framework called simple, equitable, profitable. It's a typical 60-40 split, 60% base salary, 40% commission.
Okay.
But what's critical is the benchmark. Each salesperson must generate revenue that is 2 to 3 times their total compensation package.
Just for the company to break even on that person's salary.
Exactly. That's a high bar right out of the gate.
So let's talk costs. The total projected monthly operational cost. That's the number we have to hold on to.
That number is $31,530. That is the fixed monthly burn rate. And I want to pause here because the sources show some instability in the early cost estimates.
I saw that. The graphic design line item was wildly inflated at one point, wasn't it?
It was. Initially, it was almost $20,000 before being corrected down to $5,000 in the final summary.
That volatility is a classic red flag in an early business plan, right?
It is. It shows that initial projections can have a lot of padding or just inaccuracies. Rigorous scrutiny is essential because these phantom costs can falsely inflate the revenue you think you need before you even launch.
Yeah.
So we are relying on that corrected, scrutinized figure of $31,530.
Okay. And this brings us to the financial crisis. The physical publication has a set capacity, 144 ad units per run.
Hmm.
What average price does Memphis Coupon Book need per ad to simply cover that $31,530 in costs?
To merely break even, the average revenue per client, or ARPC, has to be $219.
219.
$219. That is the cold, hard number the sales team needs to hit every single month across those 144 slots.
Okay. But what did their initial sales projections, based on competing with that low-cost $79 benchmark, what did they actually calculate?
Well, based on relying heavily on those low-cost entry ads, the initial projected monthly revenue comes in at a disastrous $14,353.92.
Wait, that's less than half of what they need, so what's the deficit?
The initial model operates at a monthly deficit of $17,176.08. This is that catastrophic viability gap. We're talking about a negative profit margin of negative 119%.
Wow. This isn't a small tweak. This is a fundamental flaw in the pricing model.
It is.
So here's where it gets really interesting. To simply break even at that low-end price of $89, which their competitor validated, the sales team has to sell how many ads?
They would need to sell approximately 355 ads.
Per month. That's 350.
You heard that right. That is more than double the publication's initial capacity of 144 units. And that's just to cover cost, not to make a profit.
So you're telling us the business plan requires them to achieve an impossible capacity to cover a flawed price point. So what does this all mean for you, the listener?
The venture has great market potential. The demographics are perfect. But it is financially unviable with this math. Success hinges entirely on closing that enormous $17,000 monthly revenue gap.
The current strategy is a financial black hole. They have to stop competing on price and start selling on value. So the first strategic adjustment is, well, it's non-negotiable. They must cease relying on those low-cost $89 entry ads immediately.
So the goal shifts. It's not about volume anymore. It's about drastically increasing the average revenue per client, that ARPC. How do they do that? They need to immediately implement tiered advertising packages that mandate bundling print and digital together. You don't sell a tiny ad for $89. You sell a Memphis digital visibility and print package for $499 that includes the print ad, the self-service portal, and a minimum 6-month commitment. That's the only way to climb toward that required $219 average.
And they need to aggressively prove this value to local businesses who are probably just used to cheap, easy advertising.
Correct. They need a strong B2B marketing focus aimed directly at showing a clear ROI. This means heavy direct outreach, networking at local business groups, and using those advertiser guest blogging opportunities on the digital platform to show immediate, tangible value that Valpak can't easily match.
Finally, that high initial operating costs, the printing, the salaries, that creates a huge cash flow problem right at the start. How do they deal with that pressure?
Cash flow is everything, especially when you're starting with a negative 119% margin. The key strategy here is offering discounted prepaid annual advertising packages. It's a tactic savvy local publishers use all the time.
So you get the money up front.
You get the money up front. It secures revenue, it mitigates the high printing and distribution costs, and it allows them to pay those operational bills before the first issue even hits the streets.
Wait, let me challenge that for a second. If they have a negative margin and they're up against established players, why would any local business commit to an annual prepaid deal with a company that's completely unproven?
And that's the critical operational risk. They have to make the discount irresistible. We're talking to be 20 to 30% off. And then use the strength of their B2B marketing and personal relationships to build that trust. The owner needs to personally go out and land those first 3 or 4 anchor clients on the annual model to stabilize the cash flow. Without that upfront capital, the printer bills will sink them before the sales agents can possibly ramp up.
That was an incredible deep dive. So we found really robust market fundamentals, a large coupon-friendly demographic, a dense retail and service economy, and a smart hybrid strategy with a clear counterpunch to national competitors.
But those strategic strengths are just overwhelmingly overshadowed by a critical, and I'd say terminal, financial flaw. The initial model faces a negative 119% margin. It requires the company to immediately abandon its pricing and somehow achieve a sales volume that is nearly 2.5 times its print capacity.
And ultimately, the entire sophisticated multi-channel strategy rests on the shoulders of two new, completely unproven sales agents who have to hit an impossible target.
And just think about the operational risk here. You have to hire, train, and motivate a brand new sales team to achieve that required 355 ad per month target, a goal that's more than double your capacity, while you're trying to steal business from a powerful national player like Valpak. This massive sales hurdle, coupled with the need for that prepaid annual cash flow, that is the true obstacle. So you have to ask yourself, how realistic is it to expect that level of sales dominance from a standing start? That's the question you have to explore further.